Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. This is a contemplation, a personal contemplation and meditation on Gene Key 3. You're with me, Catherine. Thank you so much for listening. Gene Keys have been an incredibly powerful part of my life for quite a few years now. And if you haven't already begun your own investigation, you can go to genekeys.com and just simply download your own hologenetic profile. And you may find that you have Gene Key 3 in your profile. You just need your place of birth, time of birth if you have it, and obviously the date of birth. And somewhat similar to how you would view an astrology birth chart, the Gene Keys gives you a whole hologenetic profile about yourself, your purpose, your life's work, how you best activate prosperity in the world. And it's one of the most profound, deepening, contemplative spiritual practices I have ever studied and worked with, so I highly recommend it. But let's begin here with Gene Key 3. And just a very short request, if you resonate and you haven't already, like, share, subscribing to this channel would be amazing, and I would be very grateful. And particularly sharing Gene Key 3 information onwards to somebody you feel it might resonate with. But anyway, yes, back to Gene Key 3. Now, Gene Key 3 is quite a powerful key. I mean, they are all powerful. It's the way of innovation. So this Gene Key 3 revolves around the theme of chaos, innovation, and innocence. Now, its dilemma is clinging. So if these words are sort of landing anywhere in your awareness around the way that you are in the world or in situations, relationships, work, chaos, innovation, and innocence, this may be very, very relevant for you. Now, all the Gene Keys are relevant to all of us. We will just have some very specific ones relevant even more specifically to us in our profile. So Gene Key 3 guides us through the transformation of disorder into creative breakthroughs, offering the gift of innovation and the Siddhi of Innocence. But at the shadow level, Gene Key 3 manifests as chaos, a state where uncertainty and confusion dominate. So the journey of Gene Key 3 teaches us to embrace the turbulence of life with patience and curiosity, knowing that it holds the seed of profound transformation. By surrendering to the flow of life, we can unlock our innate potential for growth and discover a sense of childlike wonder and innocence. So if the word chaos resonates with you in a way that you may experience that as a shadow in your life, whether or not that you feel that comes towards you through situations, or you feel like you generate that, this key could have very great, significant relevance on helping you move through that into more innovation and innocence. So let's look at part of the shadow here, the chaos, and just take a moment to reflect on areas in your life where you have experienced chaos. Perhaps it was a period of transition you were in, where there was uncertainty or upheaval. Because chaos can feel overwhelming, yet it is a necessary force that dismantles outdated patterns and structures to make space for growth. So even though the shadow feels intense, chaos can feel awful. It's dismantling outdated patterns and structures to make space for growth. So as I speak these sort of words into existence, as it were, my own perception around chaos, thinking about areas in my life where I've experienced chaos, or where I feel like chaos is being brought to me, is actually an internal reflection of where outdated patterns within inside me need to change so that more space becomes available for growth for me. So it becomes a positive rather than a negative. So the shadow is showing us all dimensional aspects. So just take a moment longer just to think about chaos situations, past, present, that may have really affected you. And in this reflection, just ask, what did I learn from chaotic moments in my life? Have these experiences shaped who you are today? And just remembering that even though chaos can feel overwhelming, it is a necessary force that dismantles outdated patterns and structures to make space for growth. Good. So just moving your awareness now to the gift of innovation. So as you navigate through chaos, you begin to discover the gift of innovation. This gift encourages us to think creatively, adapt to change, and find new ways of approaching challenges. The innovative spark within us is born from embracing life's unpredictability and trusting that solutions will emerge. So when we embrace the chaos rather than fight it, I for one can really fight the feeling of chaos. I really dislike it. It makes me feel ungrounded. It makes me feel not in a flow state. It makes me feel like I can't live out my patterns, which is exactly what it is trying to do. It's trying to dismantle my patterns and structures that I'm using to create flow, i.e. what feels like not chaos. But in fact, it's trying to help me release those things so that there is more space for growth, and therefore in growth we have even more flow. So even though we're talking about a shadow state, it's never negative. It's a growth portal point for us to look at what we feel might be negative and to adjust the lens that we're looking at it through so that it becomes a positive evolutionary transformation in our life instead. And that takes time. So when we're confronted with chaos, we have to learn to take that breathing moment and come back to a sense of contemplation of, here is chaos. What does it want me to stop doing, actually? Even though it feels like it's trying to stop me doing something I want to be doing. It could be a clear sign that it's trying to dismantle that pattern and that structure for you, for me, for us. So this is why we need to approach the contemplation of the shadow with a sense of curiosity and experimentation. So I have some very clear things in my mind at the moment, and maybe you do too, around chaos. Perhaps the way you handle things, or perhaps the way things seem to get chaotic when you're with a certain person or people or in certain environments. But what is that innately trying to show you about yourself, about any outdated patterns and structures that need to be dismantled, really? So it's fascinating contemplation, that. And it leads to a deep, deep unraveling of tightly held, potentially karmic knots that are keeping us stuck and unable to grow. So when we think of the gift of innovation and that navigation through the chaos and discovering the gift of innovation so that we can think creatively, adapt to change and find new ways of approaching challenges, we cannot not but grow. We have to grow. You know, and this gene key is probably so apt for this moment in time, 2025. For us all to really consider chaos and innovation. Because the innovative spark within us is born from embracing life's unpredictability and trusting that solutions will emerge. So there is a deep river that flows that we can enter, the true river. And rivers are unpredictable. There are eddies, there are currents, there are rocks, there are waterfalls even, there are all sorts of things. But there is a deep river that flows that, however unpredictable, is the safest place to be, because when we trust in that river and embrace its unpredictability, solutions will emerge. It's almost like our innate navigation system. I like to call it GPS. I'm sure lots of people have heard this, God positioning system. Kind of immediately switches on, and without us being in the trickery of the mind or our psychology or our ego telling us what flow we think is best for us, we let go and we let the true flow take over. And there have been moments in my life where I have done that, and that deep trust sort of almost dismantles the sense of chaos as well, and it all becomes very, very beautiful and dynamic and engaging and exciting. The times where that has happened for me in life, there has never been a moment of boredom, and I've never been exhausted. I've had deep interest, and I've innovated in my life. I've been extremely creative, but it somehow takes this dismantling of something to enter into chaos first, before we then can go into this deep true flow. And sometimes we pull ourselves back out again. We're like, oh look, there's a really nice white sandy beach with some nice people and things going on. I'm just going to stop there and hang out and ignore that river over there. And that's where the boredom, the exhaustion, the forgetting of life's journey crops up. More chaos seems to appear, and that chaos is to throw us back into the river of unpredictability, so we can innovate again and we can come into this deep trust that as we keep going again, solutions will emerge. So we can get very stuck until we trust that the chaos is moving us into a deeper flow state. So as we just pause here very briefly, just think, what opportunities for innovation can you identify in your current challenges that feel like chaos? Can you approach them with a sense of curiosity and experimentation? Where in your current challenges that feel chaotic or like chaos, can you see a way forward to innovate? That allows you to grow and allows you to feel like you have found or been given a new solution that by default then disentangles you from the past and the chaos and takes you into that deep flow of trust, the river of life. Can you let go? Because ultimately, when we come to the Siddhi here, the Siddhi is innocence. Now, the Siddhi means the superpower that you experience and can share from the contemplation and the actual experience of moving through this shadow and this gift is innocence, which is the return to simplicity. So at its highest expression, Gene Key 3 embodies the Siddhi of Innocence, a state of pure unconditional openness to life. Innocence is not naivety, but a deep trust in the benevolence of existence. It invites us to release judgment, fear, and resistance, allowing life to effortlessly flow through us. Now, the reflective contemplation here would be, how can you cultivate a sense of innocence in your life? What would it feel like to trust in the unfolding of your journey completely? So where in life is the chaos feeling? What is it? Where is it? And then from there, how can you innovate there? For me, that's when I look at specific situation that I feel brings me chaos. The way that I look at using the gift of innovation is that, okay, I'm going to innovate here because this situation of chaos has literally thrown me off my course as in what I feel is my flow through the mind or my ego's wants and desires, which is not the higher alignment. There's no GPS actually on. There's no God positioning on. And it's showing me that. It's showing me life through chaos is showing me I need to innovate here, because if I go into and with this chaos, I can actually return to allowing life to flow effortlessly through me and for me. So it's a dismantling of something that feels rigid, a structure, and something I've put into place because I think that's how my life should be working and flowing. But actually, if I've got chaos there, then it's not feeling actually that true and that aligned, because the chaos is asking me to dismantle that which my ego has created. So to come back into pure, unconditional openness to life, the innocent state, is very much, obviously, when we think of innocence, we think of a child, a young child, and the child has to trust in the flow of life, or it does so not on purpose, because it just is in the flow of life. And that's a very creative place, because we're actually unaware that we think we can control it. So it's, how do you cultivate that sense of innocence in your life? And then what would it feel like to trust in the unfolding of your journey completely? It would feel innocent, it would feel light, it would feel freeing, it would feel probably wonderful to trust that where we take action through innovation leads us back into simplicity and the joy of living in our life. So these contemplations here in this Gene Key 3, I'm going to bring together in a very short meditation, so that the awareness here can be grounded or used in a way to open up a new lens of seeing something in your life, to create the transformation. So just making sure you feel comfortable, and if it's safe to do so, just closing your eyes now and taking a few deep breaths in and out. And just simply feeling yourself grounding to the earth whilst connecting to the sky. And just following your breath for a few more moments, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just allowing your breath, the exhaling breath, to be longer than the inhale. So we're just going to begin this meditation journey by breathing into chaos. Just like you to bring to mind a situation in your life that feels chaotic or uncertain. Now, as you inhale, imagine yourself breathing in the energy of the chaos. And as you exhale, release any tension or resistance you feel towards it. And then repeat this process, just visualizing the chaos as a swelling energy that you can hold with patience and calmness. And as you exhale, releasing any tension or resistance you feel toward it. This is simply a settling into what is. This radical acceptance, awareness. Now, holding this, we're going to discover the innovation. Just visualize a spark of light emerging from this chaos or the uncertainty you're working with. Now, this spark of light represents the gift of innovation. It is a light beam of a new way of thinking or a creative solution waiting to emerge for you. Perhaps it even illuminates a whole brand new paradigm, a way of living or being. Now, as you focus on this light beam, imagine it expanding and illuminating the path forward, bringing clarity and inspiration. Perhaps it's the way that you interact with someone or a situation. Perhaps it's how you ultimately let go and enjoy the creative unfolding of the innovation in your life, allowing that chaos or the uncertainty to unravel the structures that need to be dismantled. And now just allowing yourself to settle deeper into that awareness. As we move towards innocence. Begin to allow the light to dissolve the chaos completely, leaving you in a state of calm and peace. This calm and peace is innocence. Visualize yourself as a child, standing in an open field under a vast starry sky. Just feel the wonder and awe of being alive. Trusting that the universe supports you in every moment. That you are held in a flow of life. Let's begin to integrate this very short meditation on Gene Key 3. Just taking a few deep breaths and anchoring this sense of openness and trust into your body. Trusting when chaos appears, you can innovate and return to innocence, peace, and calm, and even a whole new way of being and living and experiencing. And then maybe just repeating, if it's comfortable, either silently or out loud, I embrace the chaos, knowing it is the seed of innovation. I trust in the unfolding of my life with childlike wonder. Just coming into the space now, and perhaps reopening your eyes. Just knowing that Gene Key 3 reminds us that life's challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities for transformation. By embracing chaos, we can discover our capacity for innovation, and then reconnect with the innocence that lies at the heart of our being. This journey invites us to see life as a dance of creation, where every moment holds the potential for growth and renewal. Beautiful quote from Pablo Picasso: "Every act of creation is first an act of destruction." And then on closing this contemplation on Gene Key 3, just let it guide you to embrace life's unfolding mystery with courage, creativity, and an open heart. So I hope you've enjoyed this information on Gene Key 3, this meditation, this contemplation, and I look forward to being with you again soon. And you can check out Gene Key 1, 2, and all the Gene Keys coming up. Plus, you can go to genekeys.com, download your profile, and there are many incredible books written by Richard Rudd going into incredible depth and detail about the transformative properties of the gene keys in your profile. So I wish you well on your journey and look forward to connecting again soon.